The vaccine mandate controversy continues. Union leaders are asking Mayor Adams to sit down with them to discuss lifting the mandate for city workers the way he did for athletes and performers.
The FDNY says between 5 and 10 firefighters are being given an ultimatum each week, either get the vaccine or get fired. One of the firefighters who's currently at risk of losing his job was on the front lines during COVID, even helped save a 5-year-old child and another person from a burning building in Washington Heights just last year.
When I became a firefighter, and I was put in Washington Heights, it was a dream come true. So I'm able to help my community, help my neighbors, and help my family and everybody else around there. I speak both English and Spanish, and it helps me tremendously in my community where it's a mostly Spanish-speaking culture, and for them, I could relate to them. No matter what emergency issues they have, I could speak to them.
So firefighter Jairo Sosa, he is joining us this morning along with Andrew Ansbro, the president of the Firefighters Association. So good morning to both of you. Thanks for being here to discuss this topic. And so, Andrew, let me begin with you, because you're asking that Mayor Adams enforce this one rule for all, really, right? Has the mayor responded to any of your requests for a meeting to really discuss a compromise and see if this can actually be worked out?
I haven't heard from the mayor at this point in time. I understand the officers union has heard from him. I'm going to try to reach out again today and see if we can get that meeting on the schedule.
Jairo, let me ask you, how long have you been a firefighter?
I've been a firefighter for over 7 years.
In less than a year ago, you received a medal for your heroism. Congratulations for that. But now you may be now you may be out of a job. I can't imagine what that feels like for you.
I mean, it's terrible. I love my city. I love my community. I love my job. I put in 100% of the effort every time I go to work. And I love just serving my community and keeping it safe.
Yeah, what you do each and every day is heroes work. So when did you receive that ultimatum that we're hearing about, right? That it's either get the vaccine or lose your job. When do you have to actually make a decision here?
This is the week. I have to make a decision this week, whether I let them fire me or I resign.
Yeah, and city workers have to be vaccinated by November 25th of 2021. How many members then of the FDNY currently remain unvaccinated? Do you know?
There's approximately 400 to 500 that are awaiting their final decision from the New York City Law Department. But there's also thousands of police officers and probably tens of thousands of other New York City employees that haven't heard back. New York City Law Department and the agencies are overwhelmed by the amount of people seeking accommodation. And if a decision isn't made to lift this mandate, it's quite possible they will be giving people this ultimatum, well into the end of the year. They'll be firing people at Christmas if if they don't wrap this up and end the mandate and give us the same consideration they gave to professional athletes and performers.
So, Jairo, let me ask you this, because some may be wondering as they're watching us chat right here, why that you're actually refusing to get the vaccine and the decision around that.
I'm refusing to take it for religious and personal reasons, myself and my family. And I just want to have the same considerations as the athletes and anybody else that doesn't want to take this for personal reasons.
Well, if they continue to enforce this ultimatum then and you lose your job as a firefighter, how personally will this impact you and your family?
This is going to affect me greatly. My wife has been fired because of the mandates, and I'm on the shopping block with the mandates to get fired as well.
So Andrew, are you considering any legal action here in the wake of the exemptions that we saw play out this week with athletes and certain performers? What is the chain of action that you plan on taking here?
We're in the process of writing up our appeal to one of our earlier lawsuits. We believe this reversal for the athletes opens the door for us to win an appeal. We're also looking at the possibility of filing a civil rights lawsuit based on the fact that there are different rules in place for professional athletes and for New York City employees. So we're going to continue that legally, but we're hoping it doesn't. We're hoping this resolves before then. Putting people on the unemployment line right now is not what's best for New York. According to the governor in January, a report came out saying there was 7% less private sector jobs in New York than there were 2 years ago. New York City private sector jobs are kind of drying up, and we're trying to get people back to the city. So why at this point in time would we put people on the unemployment line? That would be going in the opposite direction. We need people employed, and putting thousands of New York City employees on the unemployment line is taking the city in the wrong direction. To hire and train a New York City firefighter or other city employee costs a lot of money. You're throwing a lot of money out the window. but you're also destroying lives at the same time. And if you're going to allow new athletes to come back to work, you've got to do the same for New York City firefighters and other employees. I'd like to speak to the doctors that made this consideration for the athletes, because if there's any New York City employee you consider to be the New York City's athletes, it's New York City firefighters. And I believe we would probably get the same consideration if we had the option to talk to them and see what we could do to get ourselves back to work.
Well, how do both of you feel, though, of proponents of this mandate, this vaccine mandate, that say the circumstances are different? The athletes, the entertainers, whether they're on a court or they're on a stage, are not in close proximity to other people. Yet people who are first responders, for example, are very close to people in the city. So how do you feel about that when they say the circumstances are different? That's why we maintain the mandate for city workers and not for athletes and entertainers.
Well, if you see the CDC recommendations on, spreading the virus, first of all, the virus spread right now is extremely low. It's going away. But if you look at the CDC guidelines, they say you've got to be in close proximity with someone for 10 minutes or more. That's really not something that, we're in and we're out. We're also, we wear masks. It's not a consideration, whereas athletes are, face-to-face. It's a contact sport. They could spread it amongst themselves. And also, as a professional athlete plays in the court, they're playing with an athlete from somewhere else in the country. So, New York City firefighters and New York City employees, they're dealing with people every day that, usually are in the city, from the city, or from the suburbs.
Jairo, do you have anything to add here?
We get tested every week still to make sure that we're safe. We also had been exposed to COVID. We have antibodies. So we have been pretty safe throughout the whole pandemic. We've seen the worst of it, and we've gone through the worst of it, and now we just want to keep working.
All right. Well, both of you, thank you for being here to discuss this. Keep us posted on what exactly is next along this process. We did, by the way, reach out to the mayor's office for comments, and we are waiting to hear back. Andrew and Jairo, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much.